Hi, my name is Tania Lelieu, and my stage name is La Tania. I have been dancing professionally for 40 years. My family moved to southern Spain, to the region of Sevilla, concretely to the town of Morón de la Frontera when I was 2 years old. My mother took up flamenco dancer. She was one of the first American dancers to perform in Sevilla and become a professional dancer. And so I grew up in the flamenco scene in southern Spain and just learned orally the compás and the music and the dance. So that just led to the next thing of becoming a professional dancer. So I never really made a decision. It just happened. At the age of 17, I was offered the opportunity to audition for the Juan Quintero Dance Company for a season in Mallorca, Spain, and which I did, and I got into the company, which was a very good thing because I had learned really improvisational style, and from living in southern Spain. And in these companies, you really had to learn the ropes, really good technique, and you learned different styles of Spanish dance as well as flamenco. So I started in that company, and I stayed in Mallorca about 4 years dancing, also with the Raúl Martinez company, and with Alberto Lorca. And after 4 years, I decided that I wanted to strictly dance flamenco. So I went to Madrid and I started studying in Amor de Dios. And pretty soon I got a job in Canasteros dancing as a soloist. And from there I went to Corral de la Moreria, which became my home. Basically what that means is that you dance in a tablao every night, 6 nights a week. And then you also participate in festivals or touring companies, and during the day you do your rehearsals, at night you perform, and then when you go on tour, the tablao lets you go, gives you leave, and when you come back you can go right back in, which is great to really hone your skills in palmas and dancing every night. And you dance every night with a different guitarist, with a different singer. It's basically improvised. So I was in Madrid for about 12 years, and then from there I came to the US to visit family, and one thing led to another, and I'm still here. I began touring, and I was bringing artists from Spain to perform in my company. I established a dance school in San Francisco in the Bay Area, teaching many years to workshops, and last 12 years very steadily. I think the most important lesson I learned was that if you want to become a professional dancer, you really have to learn all the ropes. You have to get really good technique, and you have to be really ready all the way around with all the skills that would be expected from you in flamenco to get invited to perform in professional companies. And especially in Spain, there's high expectations. So the more you can study and dedicate yourself to it, the better. Being a flamenco dancer is being a musician. One of the most important aspects of learning flamenco is really learning the compás, the rhythm of all the different styles of palos. And you have to learn it so well that you carry it inside you. And you don't want to depend on the outside rhythm, even though that's very important. But you want your rhythm to be interior. So when you match it up with the musicians, it's there already. Nobody's having to pull anybody else. And the cante also is extremely important. One should learn to improvise to the cante and basically get to a place where intuitively you know where the cante is going and that you can respond. The same thing with the music, with the guitar. Guitarists can play so many different musical interludes that you maybe never heard before, but you develop an intuition to be able to play with that. So really, studying the music is really, really important. Then, as far as the dancer goes, the physical part, technique is extremely important. And I'm not just talking about footwork. When I say technique, I'm talking about how we use our arms, our hands, our head, our posture, and then traditional flamenco moves. I consider those technique too, because there's a certain way to move, a certain way to feel the rhythm in your body, and that takes a lot of repetition, and it takes really getting to know it well. So technique is really important, and I would say that to make sure that you find a teacher that is qualified and do your research to do that. And the most important of all is whenever you can, go to Spain, because there you'll have more opportunities to practice your dance with a guitarist, with a singer, and a lot of the teachers there have guitarists and singers in their classes, so they really focus on that, and that's of the utmost importance. The next step, I would say, is to study with different teachers so you can learn to move your body in different ways. Once you have the technique and once you have learned the traditional style, you want to learn traditional first. But then you want to develop your own personality, and that's probably the most challenging part, is to be individual, that you can study with many different teachers, and then eventually when you really understand flamenco, you move the way it feels best to you, and you express yourself the way it's best for you, for your way of being. Because flamenco in the end is life, it's an expression of life, and you want to be able to do that at a personal level. Actually, I haven't been doing much to stay in shape. I think after 40 years of a professional career as a dancer, a very intensive career, this is kind of a break. And I do yoga mostly, and I do a lot of walks and hikes, and that's about it. But then again, I'm taking a break. So those of you that are not taking a break and are learning, this is a good time to practice. Maybe you have more time, and you can do that. I can say that flamenco saved me. It gave me an outlet through the challenges of life. We all have our challenges, and flamenco is a way of expression. It's a dance that you can be who you are, and you can express all your emotions the way you feel them. And so each time you dance, even if you're maybe doing a lot of the same steps or choreography or improvising, it's going to be different, because every day that you dance, you will be yourself and expressing whatever challenges you have emotionally. And I think that having an outlet like that is so important. So I think for the world, having some kind of outlet for your expression is extremely valuable. Lastly, I'd like to say that flamenco is an art that never ends. You never finish learning. That's why it's really important that what you enjoy is the process, and you take little steps and enjoy those little steps without any set goal in mind. And always keeping humble with it. I would like to thank Carlota, all my gratitude to you for doing these interviews. It's very thoughtful. Thank you so much. And I'd like to say to all of you out there going through these challenging times that everybody's going to be experiencing something different with this, but it is challenging for all of us. And my heart goes out to all of you in these difficult times. And I hope that you can find somehow some solace with it all. And this too will pass. Much love to all of you out there. Thank you.